All 32 teams have a player they simply cannot lose. So I'm going through all 32 teams and picking out the best player from each roster. And if you don't agree, cry. I'm going division by division, so there's no in particular order. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. And starting off with the Buffalo Bills, this is going to be a pretty obvious choice, Josh Allen. This one shouldn't be much up for debate. Josh Allen's one of the most complete quarterbacks in the NFL. Josh Allen is a dual talent from on the ground and in the air. For 3,700 yards and 25 passing touchdowns last season, while having 600 rushing yards and 14 touchdowns on the ground. So this choice is pretty much a no-brainer for me. Next up is the Miami Dolphins. This Dolphins team has lost a lot of talent in the offseason, but even still, Devon Achane is definitely the easiest choice. Devon Achane is one of the easiest choices on this list, being one of the best running backs in the NFL. There isn't much talent in Miami going on this year. It makes Achane even more important this season. He had 1,300 rushing yards last season, so I believe this season he'll be even more of the clearer focus of the offense. So he better end up with 300 carries at least. Next up is the New England Patriots. They have one of the best young corners in the NFL in Christian Gonzalez. Gonzalez is one of the elite shutdown man-to-man corners in the NFL. Though he lost, he held the league's Offensive Player of the Year to only 31 receiving yards in the Super Bowl, showcasing again how he's one of the best DBs in the NFL. Next up is the team in turmoil, the New York Jets. The 2022 Offensive Rookie of the Year, Garrett Wilson. One of the most elite, consistent route runners in the NFL. Before his injuries last season, Garrett was known to have consecutive 1,000 receiving yard years, and that's with inconsistent quarterback play ever since he got into the NFL. His ability to create separation and produce regardless of who's throwing him the ball is truly impressive. He's going to be a valuable piece of the future for the Jets. Going into the AFC North, next up we have the Baltimore Ravens. This one's pretty simple with multi-time MVP Lamar Jackson. One of the most dual-talented quarterbacks of all time, and also one of the fastest quarterbacks of all time. The Ravens can be the best team in the NFL when Lamar Jackson's on the field. Next up in the AFC North is the Cincinnati Bengals. And to simply put it, Jamar Chase is one of the best receivers in the NFL. And as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, it's a scary sight seeing Jamar Chase on any Sunday. Jamar Chase was 4th in the NFL with 1,400 receiving yards last year and 3rd with 125 receptions. And keep in mind, Joe Burrow only played 8 games last season, and Jamar Chase was still able to put up the numbers that he did. So it's pretty simple, Jamar Chase is one of the most talented wide receivers in the NFL. And next up, we have the Cleveland Browns. Browns just lost one of their best defensive players of all time, but Denzel Ward is still one of the best players on their team. When Ward is healthy, he can line up with some of the most elite receivers in the NFL, which allowed the Browns defense to be one of the best pass rushing defenses in the NFL. His consistency and loyalty to the Browns makes him one of the most valuable pieces that the Browns have on their roster currently. Next up in my Pittsburgh Steelers, they have one of the best and most reliable centers in the NFL in Zach Frazier. This choice is pretty close to Alex Highsmith, but I believe Zach Frazier is one of the best centers in the NFL. Zach Frazier is very young, and early on he showcased his physicality and his ability in the run game. Zach Frazier is a franchise center with potential to be the best center in the NFL. And next up is the Houston Texans, who I believe to have one of the best and most premier cornerbacks in the NFL, and Derek Stingley Jr. Stingley is a shutdown corner who excels in man-to-man defense. He has elite closing speed and ball hawk ability with his amazing hands, and also one of the best athletes in the NFL. Nico Collins and CJ Stroud are close, but I believe Derek Stingley is the best in the NFL in his position group. Next up is the Indianapolis Colts, which is a pretty hard choice and a pretty easy one at the same time. Jonathan Taylor is one of the best running backs in the NFL, while Quentin Nelson is one of the best guards in the NFL. JT had 1,200 yards last season with 16 touchdowns to boot. He's one of the most explosive running backs in the NFL. With that elite power and speed combination, he's one of the most productive touchdown rushers in the entire NFL. Next up is the Jacksonville Jaguars. They have one of the most elite two-way players in the NFL in Travis Hunter. No, I'm kidding. Trevor Lawrence has great size with elite throw power to boot. He's good at making throws out of structure and has the ability to create with difficult passes. Last season, Trevor Lawrence had a great season where he had 4,000 passing yards and 29 passing touchdowns as well. And those are pretty solid numbers in a comeback season. Next up, we have the Tennessee Titans. They have one of the league's best interior linemen in Jeffrey Simmons. Simmons is one of the league's best interior pass rushers, alongside his ability to disrupt plays from the D-tackle position. First team All-Pro last season with 11 sacks and 65 tackles in 15 games, showing how he's the best D-tackle in the NFL. Next up in the AFC West is the Denver Broncos. Highly regarded as one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL, Patrick Surtain II. With first team All-Pro and Defensive Player of the Year recognition, he deserves those honors. He's probably the best one-on-one man-to-man corners in the NFL. His physicality and ball skills are also elite. Last season he had 4 interceptions, 11 pass defense, and 34 tackles, showcasing again how he's one of the best corners. Next up is the Kansas City Chiefs. This man needs no introduction, is known to many as one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL in Patrick Mahomes. Not much needs to be said for Patrick Mahomes. After 14 games last season, he went down with an injury, but hopefully he returns his former self when he comes back. He's one of the best playmakers and off-platform passers the NFL has ever seen. So this one's pretty simple, Patrick Mahomes. Next up is the Las Vegas Raiders. They have one of the most elite pass and edge rushers in the NFL in Max Crosby. His stats were lower than normal last year, but still has one of the most elite motors in the NFL. His pass rush and hand usage is what separates him. He gets traded to the Ravens in the offseason, but the trade got rescinded and he returned back to the Raiders. He looks weird in another jersey anyway. Next up is the Los Angeles Chargers. And Justin Herbert has some of the most elite and impressive deep balls in the entire NFL. Justin Herbert had a 66% completion percentage, 3,700 passing yards, and 26 passing yards as well. His ability to throw under pressure is also elite, one of the most calm quarterbacks under pressure in the entire NFL. Next up is the Dallas Cowboys. And though some people might not agree, I believe that George Pickens is the best player on the Dallas Cowboys. George Pickens has elite contested catch ability while having some of the best deep ball and vertical ability in the entire NFL. While his body control is also elite. GP had 1,400 yards and 9 touchdowns, becoming an All-Pro for the first time in his career. Next up is the New York Giants. Another one of the best edge rushers in the entire NFL is Brian Burns. He is elite in speed off the edge, being one of the fastest edge rushers in the entire NFL. He led the NFL in pressure to sack time. He had 16.5 sacks, 67 tackles, while 22 of them for loss, and becoming the second team All-Pro last season. Next up, we have Super Bowl champions from 2 years ago, the Philadelphia Eagles. And the Madden 26 cover athlete, Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley had one of the best big play abilities in the NFL. Last season, he had 1,100 yards with 9 rushing touchdowns. Saquon has elite balance and explosive running. Next up is the Washington Commanders. They have one of the best young quarterbacks in the NFL in Jaden Daniels. Daniels didn't play much last season due to injury, but he's one of the most athletic quarterbacks in the NFL. Next up in the NFC North is the Chicago Bears. And for them, I choose Madden 27 cover athlete Caleb Williams. Williams has great playmaking and improvisation at such a young age. Williams had nearly 4,000 passing yards with 29 passing touchdowns last season. His ability to extend plays gives him a very promising future in the NFL. Next up, I have the Detroit Lions. They have one of the most athletic all-around tackles in the NFL in Penei Sewell. First team All-Pro, Penei is one of the best in the NFL in pass blocking and run blocking. So to make this short, he's one of the best tackles in the NFL. Next up is the Green Bay Packers. Another of the league's premier tackles, they acquired by trade from the Dallas Cowboys, Micah Parsons. His explosive speed makes his pass rush versatility one of the best in the entire NFL. Micah Parsons is pretty much unstoppable no matter where you line him up in the front. Last season, Micah Parsons had 12.5 sacks, 20 tackles for loss, and 38 QB hits. Next up is the Minnesota Vikings, and they have arguably one of the best route runners in the entire NFL in Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson for years has been one of the best, if not the best, wide receiver in the NFL. Justin Jefferson is certainly an all-around talent because his ability to separate his route running. He has great body control so he can catch deep balls. He has great hands. He's one of the best wide receivers in the league for that reason. Justin Jefferson played all 17 games last year where he had over 100 catches, over 1,500 yards, and 10 touchdowns. He's one of the most consistent superstars in football. Next up from the A, the Atlanta Falcons. Fantasy football legend and one of the best running backs in the NFL, Bijan Robinson. Last year, Bijan played all 17 games where he got nearly 1,500 yards and got 7 total rushing touchdowns. He has an all-around skill set for a running back and has elite receiving ability for a tailback as well. And for like a day, he was the highest paid running back in football. Next up, we have the Carolina Panthers. They have one of the best playmaking linebackers in the NFL in Devin Lloyd. Lloyd's coverage and tackling ability is outstanding. He's one of the best coverage linebackers in the entire NFL. He was just picked up by the Panthers in this free agency. When he played for the Jacksonville Jaguars last season, he played in 15 games, had 76 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 5 interceptions, 7 pass defense, and 1 defensive touchdown. He was a Pro Bowler as well last season, so I believe this is a great pickup for the Panthers this offseason. Next up, we have the New Orleans Saints. They're one of the best space creators and route runners in the entire NFL, Chris Olave. Olave is not super physical, but his space creation ability is spectacular. Last season, Chris Olave played in 16 games where he had 100 catches, over 1,100 yards, and 9 touchdowns. He's very talented, he has elite speed and great hands along with that. And if you ask me, I don't believe Chris Olave has even reached the ceiling yet. Next up, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They have the most versatile tackle in the NFL in Tristan Wirfs. The first player to ever be a first-team All-Pro from left and right tackle. His athleticism is elite, his physicality is elite, and his resume shows he's probably the best tackle in the NFL. Next up, we have the Arizona Cardinals. and rightfully arguably one of the best tight ends in football right now is Trey McBride. He was number 1 in receiving production at tight end in 2025. He led all tight ends in receiving yards, receiving touchdowns, and receptions last season. His physicality and ability to fight for yards after catch makes him one of the best tight ends in football right now. Next up, we have the Los Angeles Rams. I didn't think it'd be fair to leave one of them out, so I have to do Matthew Stafford and Myles Garrett are both on the list. Reigning MVP and Defensive Player of the Years. Reigning MVP had 4,700 yards for 46 passing touchdowns last season. He led the NFL in passing yards and passing touchdowns last season. One of the best pre-snap abilities in the entire NFL. Myles Garrett had a record-breaking season last year with 23 total sacks. Myles Garrett was a first-team All-Pro last season because of his ability to be so dominant on the football field for the Cleveland Browns. Next up, we have the San Francisco 49ers. Though he's getting older, they still have one of the best tackles in the NFL in Trent Williams. Williams has elite power and is still one of the best run-blocking tackles in the NFL. Williams had 16 starts last season, was graded 3rd of all tackles in the NFL. Next up is the reigning Super Bowl champions, the Seattle Seahawks. The best offensive player in football last season, Jackson Smith-Njigba. He had nearly 1,800 receiving yards last season with 10 receiving touchdowns. He's definitely in conversation for the best wide receiver in football. His catching, route running, and yards after catch are all very elite. I wish the Steelers drafted him so bad. And that's my opinion on all 32 teams' best player. Do you think I got any wrong? Let me know down below what you think. Thanks for watching. Peace.